Now we're good. Wonderful. Okay, when it comes to group classes, the ways you can use this feature, I know some of you already have experimented with this, is you can use them to promote like one-time events, for example, spring festival, workshop, or anything that's topic-based that's going to be just a one-time event or a webinar or a little group class to attract new students. This works really well in my experience based on what I've seen with teachers doing on the platform. And it means you can reach out to your existing regular students and ask them to invite their friends and family to join them in class. And what I've seen works very, very well is these single sessions tend to be free because they have a clear goal or on just attracting new students to join in, for a one-time session. And later on, these children or parents would reach out for a one-on-one class is what can happen. It's only natural because they already get something beforehand, and then they get interested into your one-on-one classes as well. As paid group classes, they are great. I learned this strategy from Katie, actually. Like, thanks for that, Katie. Using group classes to offer them actually as a strategy to onboard your students. Let's say you have a student, an interested student, and they at one point they say, your class price is too much for me, it's too high, I can't afford that. Then it's a good, that's the perfect timing to offer them a group class. And what Katie usually recommends is either inviting that student to bring on a friend or a family member and split the cost, or you can up the price a little bit and earn even more for a group class, whatever works for you. With group classes feature, you can also offer program-based courses. And that means usually like topic-based or skill-based courses. For example, speaking course in mini groups. And usually it's recommended for them to be limited to kind of have a clear goal. To set them up in ongoing basis for a month or 2 or 3 months, like a summer course, for example, summer speaking course that's going to take fixed time every week, and it will offer a clear goal. For example, by the end of this course, the student is going to improve their conversational skills in this or that. Just an idea. I've also seen a teacher using group classes as semester-based. That means she's following the regular school schedule of her students, and she's offering tutoring services to support them with homework and just expand on their regular kind of English classes they already have at school. And she also offers availability. It's not membership, but she is available to them, for custom sessions if they do need additional support, for example, during the school year. So they can just organize a one-time group session as well, which is really nice. You can also offer workshops. I've seen Allison, if I can mention, you did something similar to that, offering, I think it was science and electricity group course as a test run with your students. I'm not sure if you actually did it, but that was a great idea to me when I saw it. So they can be, like in out school or old school workshop-based classes where students can actually prepare material or be, oh, did you lose me for a moment? Okay, sorry about that. It just refreshed. Oh, hi,
We
Mel.
lost you at the point of you can also offer workshops, and then you froze in a very enthusiastic pose, and then that was it.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I was like, oh my goodness, what happened? Did my cat eat my cable, my charger? But all good. Sorry. And
One thing
welcome.
I would say with the groups as well, it works really well when you have exam prep programs because I've done it before in the run up to the GCSE exams, for example, and there's a set date for that exam.
Mhm.
So it's very easy to get a group of students together who've got a really specific goal and they're all going to have the same learning objectives, the same things they need to work on because they have the same exam they're going to take it on the same date.
Love.
That works really well for group classes.
That's amazing. Yeah. I think it's a great idea. And anything that you actually can organize in kind of batches or topics. I think anything topic based can work really well in that regard. But I don't have personal experience in that. I don't do group classes, so I can just share what I've seen as ideas on the platforms. Thank you for that. That's amazing. Okay, I'm not sharing the screen, right? It kicked me out. I kicked myself out. Okay, let's see. How about now? Yeah. Can you still see it? It's just like a little guide I prepared. And yeah, as we mentioned already, group classes are a great way for marketing and self-promotion. So not just use it. The idea for me of group classes is to have plan B in any case, like to make sure you have a way to grab that student. I know Mel, if I might share, like just before the training we talked about, Mel is going to have 3 trial classes coming out this weekend, right? Are they all going to happen during the weekend? Yeah, and when we discussed a little bit on the ideas of the trial classes, and I know you want to have them all on board. So if you, after you run the trial class, you always can consider that idea. Like if they say the class is too pricey or anything, like you can just diversify your offer either by offering the packages as you already do with Super Teacher, or just offer them, remind them that you can, if you do want to try working in a small group, like 2 students, for example, or something like that. Yeah, and the group classes feature and the self-paced courses tool on Super Teacher are great because you can actually create a whole message for the parents. You can give them clear instruction on the group classes, attach files, give them some lesson previews, add a little video. They're very different than one-on-one. The one-on-one classes work like a simple calendar booking system, but the group classes are awesome because you can add the little snippet from class or what they can expect and so on. And they can also gift it. There is an option for them. If they do want to join and have a friend who's interested, they can gift it easily just by entering the email in your Super Teacher profile. Yeah, the subscription-based classes are in progress, and everybody will be able to offer monthly subscription to begin with. I think it's good enough. I mean, we never had any other request like for a month or 3 monthly, or I mean quarterly or yearly subscription. So maybe month to month subscription-based classes are going to be great, and it's going to work in a way that you, once you create a group class, you will be able to add the class credits. So you can actually create different plans. If a student wants to subscribe for, let's say, 3 classes a week, you can create a plan for those students. If they want to take 2 classes a week, they will be able to, depending on your offer. And what we want to make sure is that the classes actually cannot transfer to the next month. Because I think talking with a few teacher friends and thinking about it, I came to the conclusion, like, if you do want to make up for the class, you still can. You can always open a free session, you can create a coupon, but by default, Super Teacher always has teachers in mind first, instead of parents, I mean, not the children, but parents. So, you know how it can happen, like they would just not show up to class or keep canceling. So by default, I think if you don't agree with that, just let me know. I would love to hear what you think about that. I think by default, the system should stop them, like once the month runs out, the new class credit will be applied. Do you think that's the best solution, or we should tweak that? Because it's still work in progress. We can definitely change that.
Ivy, I'm just curious if other teachers do that. I'm wondering how that works. You know, I guess it's because I don't do that. I mean, I get paid monthly by default, just to so because I'm terrible about getting an invoice out, you know, after however many classes we've been through. So they just pay a certain amount over the month, but it's kind of an average of, I think I'm going to have 12 or 13 classes per month. So we're going to go with this amount. And I just figured if they didn't do that much, that would go over to the next month. Because in the next month, they'll probably, like this month, they're going to do more classes because he's on break. So I just am curious. Like, again, I know it's just my mindset because that's the way I've been doing it. I just was curious if that seems to work out well for teachers in China, for Chinese kids.
That's perfect. I just saw also your comments in the chat. Sorry about that. I don't have the habit of checking the chat box. I will. That's great. That's a great point. I can share straight from the experience. Like we have one teacher who is only doing group class. I mean, she does have one-on-one as well, but what she does is she just creates a free bundle to add to the class, to their class credit. For example, if they are already subscribed for 8 classes a month and they want to take 10, 12, 14, any amount, she just creates a free bundle of 5 classes. So through the bundle, you can actually make up for the additional classes. That's one of the solutions. So it's not fixed every month if you can anticipate that happening. Yeah. And I'm guessing you're actually invoicing in them, sorry, after the month is over, right? You take the payments not in advance, but
I do it in advance. I do it on the first of every month. But we've worked together for years and years and years where, you know, it's not I mean, it's pretty laid back. We're still trying to kind of finesse it right now because of the changes. But he, you know, the dad told me this is how much I have to spend over the course of a year. So, and this is how much a class I can do. So I don't know. I'm just curious about all of that. It probably wouldn't be with this family that I'm working with, but with future families, I'm just curious about that.
Yeah, for me, you know, oh, sorry, Katie.
So I was gonna say, I think the benefit of the subscription thing is that it happens without them having to think about it. So you don't have to keep chasing up invoices that they haven't paid, which is quite convenient. But as you say, like if they're having different numbers of classes some months than others, then you might just have to create these little extra bundles as the top up, or sell them separate classes on top. But like you can, if you want to just keep your current setup, you can just set up packages for that, and do a package of classes that they could buy.
Would you say to the parent, this is a subscription for you to do as many classes as you want to over the group classes, or as many of, you know, I offer 20 group classes in a month. You can come to all of them. You can come to 5 of them. The price is going to be the same. So is that what you're saying to the parents? Is that kind of how it's going?
I think there's different options, Ivy, with the subscriptions. It could either be for a group class or it could be just for one-on-one.
So you can pick. So it's going to be different features. You know, the one you used already, Allison, when you were testing Super Teacher, when we were discussing it, you were using the group class feature. In the group class, you can put as many classes as you want and create a single price. So the payment is not subscription based there. So it's just a one-time payment. If the parent says this month I can spend this much money, then you can just attach the class credit. I mean, open up classes for that exact situation. But this is for the self-paced course builder, another feature I didn't emphasize that before. The third option we have. So they're like one-on-one, group, and then self-paced courses. But we just call them self-paced courses because the first idea was exactly that. But the other way of using that course builder is just using it as a library to put up your homework, review material, preview material, anything you want, keep it organized in one place, and then offer a subscription-based classes in addition to that. So it's just going to be an additional, it's going to work different, and it's going to be the only thing on Super Teacher with subscriptions based offer to begin with. And the need for that, I can share about the need because I've never offered subscription-based classes. I thought it was even impossible with China, but actually Chinese parents can subscribe as anybody else just by using their cards. WeChat does not have a subscription option. So they would need to be willing to use their card to subscribe. But what I've learned from Jillian Shanahan, she was the one who actually initiated that. She told me, Ivy, I think the future of independent, ESL teaching is parents are not going to want to commit to such big class packages in the future, having in mind the whole, world situation and everything. And in her experience, and she does work with a lot of teachers, she's saying everybody is tending to offering monthly subscription based classes, because it's kind of, and also it brings much more steady income, right? It's kind of easier. It's not just more stable, but you don't get trapped like I did. Everybody knows about it. Maybe you don't know, Allison. I did sell 2 packages of 90 classes. I say that, like, I talked about it last time. And then the parent took a break of 2 months, and then they decided to have 1 class a day. And now, after a year, I still have like 30 classes with that one student. Actually, there is another one, but they are almost there, like, to finish. And that was the only time I did it. I just wanted to invest in Super Teacher a little bit more, honestly. So I was like, okay, I can offer them a little bit more discount, and they were in, and it all worked well. But thinking about your business, it's not the best decision to be made, right?
So can I ask another question about this subscription base?
Yeah.
So would it be completely self-paced? So there's no live classes involved in this? Or is it just kind of however you want to set it up?
Yeah, it's just the setup is different. So they still get it's the same as if you would sell a class package. So they will get a class credit as if they bought a class package, but they will get the class credit every month. They don't have to purchase it every time. And so it's only the payment is different. The convenience for you is different. So you can, if you do want to offer that like on monthly basis, it's not sold as packages, but kind of like fixed monthly packages, but you don't have to create them every time. And you do get the additional feature of having a personal library with them. So it's just a tool. I can show you. I am always better in showing than talking about it. So let me show you what I'm actually talking about.
And the library is something that's on Super Teacher?
Yeah, it's on your teacher profile. And
okay.
whenever you upload a document or anything, it's just between you and your student.
Oh, so it's like when you message them, or it's separate from that?
I'm going to show you in a second. Okay. I think it's best. It's going to work best. So, on your teacher profile, you have these 3 options: book one-on-one, group classes, and my products. And in the dashboard, there is class packages. Just to load, the Zoom is giving me a little bit hard time. Okay, here we go. So it's very similar with the group classes feature you already played around with. So I expect it's going to be easier to get a good hold of it. And it's just called Course Builder. Maybe we should rename that. If you have any ideas because we keep, we're tweaking the use of it. The idea was to only sell self-paced courses or curriculum material, but now we figured, why not allow everybody, especially if the student is going to be on monthly basis, you can keep all the resources in one place. And so here is how it works. So you would just create it. You see the dashboard is the same as a group class. Name it, decide on the price, blah, blah, blah. Everything is the same. But here we have the subscription option. This is actually the only difference. So in addition to the group class kind of template, there is a subscription-based offer. You also can upload a little video, like a thumbnail and an image. And then we are adding here, next to the subscription, you will be able to include the number of classes in this plan. So on your profile, it should say something like, the price will reflect the monthly price instead of a single group class price, sold once to the student. If that makes sense. Yes.
Like, if I think of one example where I would use this, like, I'm really excited for this. This is really amazing. So excited for this, Ivy. One example where you could do this is that because it combines together the self-paced course builder with the class credits. You can use the self-paced course builder to put up your lesson preview material or worksheets and homework activities, things like that. So students can see it like in a nice simple flow of what they're going to do for each lesson. And then you can also attach, say, I don't know, 8 credits for 8 one-on-one classes each month. And then my understanding, Ivy, is that then they can just book those on your one-on-one calendar, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is then the student can see the lesson materials and activities they can do outside of class, but they also get
Yeah,
a certain number of credits per month to spend flexibly on classes
exactly.
as they wish on your calendar.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to take Japanese classes with a company that had the same system. Like you pay per month for a fixed number of classes,
Mm-hmm.
and you also got access to the materials like outside of class in a really clunky dashboard they did, but like you could access the lesson preview materials and things. And it was really good because I didn't have to remember each month to like buy my next package of classes. And also it did prompt me to buy more classes than I would have done otherwise because my recurring package for them was like 15 classes a month. And ordinarily, sometimes I feel a bit lazy and I hadn't quite done the work, so I just wouldn't book a class. But I was thinking, well, I've already pre-purchased 15 classes in my recurring subscription package, so I've got to have a class every other day. And then like it kept me on track.
Yeah.
So actually, I think for students, it's actually really good as well because it means they're keeping on top of those classes. You're not having to chase them on like invoices and encourage them to like basically trying to resell to them every single time you need to sell a new package.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm just also new to the idea, honestly, like it never crossed my mind. But yeah, some teachers are saying like, wow, this is something we anticipate as a need very soon. And here is the difference, like just to show you this step, like everything is the same as a group class, but here you actually get a little course builder. That means, for example, welcome. You can set a welcome message for them when they first, subscribe. You can play around much more. You can add much more value if you are into that. And here you can add different files like audios, videos, PDF. You can even embed something for them to play in their free time. For example, let me just add something real quickly. For example, I don't know, short A. It's gonna, yeah, be the first one, and let's add an audio maybe or a video if I do have something here. Just to grab one, just to show. So basically, you are building something, and it's going to grow. Or you don't have to. You don't have to use it as a resource library at all if you don't want to. You can just put a single template with a welcome message and then just upload files later on. Let's see what I just made. Let's go check it on the front end. Maybe that would be useful to take a look into.
And this is something when you upload it once, it's accessible to everybody with the subscription, or do
Yeah.
you have to upload it for each student? Okay.
Yeah, it's just for, yeah, that's also the benefit. Yeah, it's kind of joined. So everybody who subscribes, they do get the class credits, and then they can book classes however you normally offer and open your availability. You can delete it, you can disable it, you can change it at any point.
So on each individual course or subscription that you offer, you click into this yourself. Do you see a list of everything that you've uploaded for that?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that's what I tried. I only added one. Here it is. Yeah, now I see what what you're asking. So first I set up the basic info. This is the same like for the group class. Then in the course goals, you can be much more clear who this course is for. For example, at the end of this journey, you will be able to I don't know, read short A words and blend easily, something like that. And then who should join in? Maybe students, maybe beginner readers, or however you want. It can be a level, age, anything. What will you need to know before joining in? Maybe use your device. or if they need to bring in anything to class, like pen and paper, anything you would need, and then continue. These are like the goals of that subscription plan or course. And here is the structure. Here's what I added, the first section, welcome. And here is the video we added before. So here, now I can add more, let's say, short. So here I'm gonna add a PDF this time. So then I can create another section, for example, homework practice. The whole section just for that, so they can easily see it. And under each section, it's unlimited, like, and you can add resources however you want in all files and formats. Let's say, let's add a worksheet, maybe. Oh, let me grab my A-Bridge Academy folder. Let's see if I can. It's all set for the mini course with it. Let's check.
Katie, that makes me wonder too, like if you're recording your classes to share, as opposed to teaching them live, I mean, if you're doing both, then you'll continue to keep your subscription. But what if you end your subscription? Does that mean you can't put those courses out any longer because
No,
you're
you
not
can
paying for
always
the subscription? I
you
mean,
mean,
like if you're doing Katie's curriculum and you're recording the curriculum as opposed to doing it live. I mean, if I recorded everything, say in a month, which I know would be impossible, but let's say I did it all in a month and then I canceled my subscription with Katie, is that legal?
Katie, we can
Because
always
of like
do that.
So just to confirm, according to the A-Bridge Academy terms and conditions, you can't sell pre-recorded classes using the A-Bridge Academy lessons.
Oh,
So you're allowed
okay.
to record the lessons for like promotional things here and there, like a one-off thing. Like say you've got a sort of trial class or you want to do like an example class and record that and stick it up on your YouTube or your like social media or whatever, that's fine. But like you can't just record the whole curriculum and then sell it. That's
Okay.
technically against the terms and
But
conditions.
I suspect it would be probably the same for any curriculum then, wouldn't
Yeah.
it?
I did a lot of research into what the standard terms and conditions are for these sort of things, and I talked to actually a solicitor who drafted up the terms and conditions and stuff, and like they were like that's quite standard in this industry. But
Okay.
like I'm quite flexible on things like, for example, if you want to just record an example class to
Right.
share, promote your classes, that's totally fine. And like for example, if it's classes, you record the class with a student and you're just sharing the recording with that specific student, that's fine because they paid you for that lesson. You were subscribed to the curriculum for that particular lesson at the time and then watching the class later. They're not paying you extra for that recording, if that makes sense. But yeah, I think if it's just actually something I wanted to argue about recently. I want to put up the the lesson previews and workbooks and stuff that come with the curriculum. I actually want to have those listed up on Super Teacher for students to be able to, so teachers, because you've got the gift course option on Super Teacher. So the idea being that if teachers wanted students to have really easy access to the lesson previews and workbooks and things, so not the actual slides for the lessons themselves, but all the out of class content, teachers would be able to sign the student up to just have that as a really easy self-paced course that goes alongside their core lessons. Or like you're saying, you can use it yourself. So you can create your own course on Super Teacher using those materials and link it to your class credits, because then you can have it where, okay, they're going to have, I don't know, 5 lessons a month or something of A-Bridge Academy lessons. So you set it up so they've got access to the whole course with all of, I don't know, level 1, say, and 5 class credits per month on a recurring basis. And you can set it up like that. Does that make sense? Sorry, I rambled a lot there.
No, and I love that because then they feel like it looks like they're actually getting the whole library of that unit or lesson for free, right? Free access. You can just let
Yeah,
them
like
when to.
things like the workbooks and the lesson previews and things are open access anyway on A-Bridge Academy. But at the moment, teachers have to like send each individual link separately each lesson, which is a bit of a pain. So I think it'd be really good with the Super Teacher system to be able to have it all like conveniently in a nice simple course that students can follow and work through.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm excited for this.
And here's how it looks now when we added a few things like the goals of the course, who should join in, what they will need to know or prepare before joining. And here is the course structure they see. And it's only available to the subscribers. It's like the teacher training we made. So it's the same thing. But yeah, you can keep it private. You can even disable it and just share the link with some students if you don't want it to be visible on your profile, for example. Yes.
That's all right. So I have a question. So the subscription is monthly, right? Because we already have, like, I'm on Fiverr, so they already offer subscriptions. But the way the subscriptions work there is after the 10 classes are done, they automatically renew. So it's not monthly because children have classes once a week. Some of them have it 4 days a week. So it's once they finish their 10 or 15 classes, it automatically renews after that. So not necessarily on the first of the month. So I think that's why I'm getting a little bit confused about
Oh, yes, I understand.
and then on Cambly, they also have subscriptions, but they pay for the month and they get the option of 2 classes a week or 3 classes a week or 5 classes a week, depending, but they also pay monthly. So again, so this is just a completely different kind of subscription. And
I love that. Yeah.
So it's a little confusing to me.
I see. So most definitely
they throw out the other kinds of subscriptions those are the kinds of subscriptions I'm familiar.
Yeah, thank you. This is so priceless. I mean, it's really helpful. I work with NovaKid. So, for example, I know NovaKid offers subscription plans on but based on the number of classes per week. So my students there have twice, 3 times, even 5 times a week. And so that's how, but with Super Teacher, you can decide on that. It's just the payment is going to go through every month. It's not going to follow. And if they don't use the class credit, for now, if you think there is a better solution to that, I have a few teachers saying, Ivy, please don't let them, transfer the class credits to the next month if they didn't use it. So that's the only thing I have the idea, the clear idea about. Everything else, I'm totally open, to consider and to improve. Yeah. And while creating the course, you actually are going to say, like I just did, I didn't add the description at the end of the course, but I can state in the course, in every course I create, I can say this course is for 2 classes a week. By subscribing, you commit to taking 2 classes a week. You can incorporate your own policy if you don't use up the class credit, or you can cancel once a month, or for example, you can reschedule. So it's up to you. You can add the policy. It's much more customizable, which I think it's really nice. And then, if you need us to translate, we can translate the policies, like make little templates on that. So you can just change the names. I think that would be also useful. And yeah, the idea is the payment is going to go through monthly in addition to the packages that can last forever, as you know. I'm the best example for that. But this way you can create your own little policy and apply it. Awesome. Okay, let's stop here and I will see you next week, right? And chat in the Facebook groups, email me whenever you need me. And if you do have any more ideas on improving Super Teacher, or especially this feature, do share, because it's super, I from the inside sometimes don't see the most obvious things because I just don't. So it's not that we don't want to change something, but yeah, it's just not there for me. Okay, thank you. Have a great evening.
Ivy.
Thank you, Ivy.
Bye.